Okay fellas, if you click this far, I'm assuming you already know that this is of course Gears of War 3 campaign footage, but I better announce it anyway. If you haven't played the Gears of War 3 campaign yet and you don't want to risk any potential spoilers, please click off the video now. But if you're looking to defeat the Leviathan in Act 1 on Insane, then I might be able to help you, because this part can be a little tricky when all the polyps come out to play, because your silverback doesn't exactly have much mobility, but the secret is that you don't need your silverback at all times. So when you first burst open the gates, come and lodge yourself in this corner here at the back left. At this stage, you're just going to be shooting the Leviathan in his eye, and you're not going to be taking any damage at this part from any enemies, so feel free to stand up and shoot the Vulcan, because it's a lot easier to use and aim with than the rockets. So keep peppering his eye on the left with the Vulcan until it pops, and while it doesn't take too long, you got to make sure that you're pretty quick about it, but eventually it just mulches into a load of gunk, and you can see a lot of polyps crawling out of his eye. You don't need to worry about those because you're wedged in the back while Anya and Sam are on their feet, taking out all the incoming polyps. But you got to tap A now to bring down your shields and start using your rockets, and just keep peppering his mouth. And when you've shot enough rockets into his mouth, he'll go down. So now that he's gone for the first time, this is where it usually gets tricky, but I found it was better to just leave the silverback alone, because all the drones and polyps will start coming towards you, and you're not very mobile in silverback, and you can't kill anything close to you without blowing yourself up. And it's better to just leave it, come over to this side and take cover behind the crate, and all of the drones and polyps that hop up don't seem to target you. They're only really focused on Dom and his silverback. So it's a lot easier to just kill them with the Lancer, and not only that, your silverback is out of the fight and it's not receiving any damage. Nice and simple. Now eventually the Leviathan will come back up for a second round, and as soon as he comes back up, get back to your silverback, and as soon as you're in it, bring it back up to a walking stance with a Vulcan, and then move to that piece of cover you were at just now on the right hand side, right over here. Keep your Vulcan out, and now you've got a pretty good line of sight on his right eye, and just start peppering it with the chain gun. Eventually his eye will pop again, and then he will be ready to eat some rockets. So once you've done that, more polyps will start coming out, but they're not focused on you. They're focused on Dom's silverback because he's way out in the middle and he's the center of attention, so you can just freely pop rockets at him whilst taking no damage. Eventually, he'll take enough rockets in the mouth and he'll go down for a second time. So once again, hop out the silverback and start doing what you were doing here before, this bit of cover. But if you prefer, you can move the silverback out of this way. I kind of got it lodged in there and left it and just started working the cover from here, which worked all just the same, but it would have been a little easier if I'd have moved the silverback to the corner and shot them out of cover as before. But either way, as long as you're not using the silverback, that's the main thing. Just when the drones and polyps are starting to come out to play, just make sure that you're on your feet and using the Lancer, because the last thing you want is to have your silverback being targeted and blown up by polyps, because it's so easy to die. They're hard to hit, and then when they're close, that's it. They'll either blow you up themselves, or you'll just try and shoot them with rockets, and you'll end up committing suicide. But anyway, when the Leviathan comes up for the third time, you can either try and chain gun it down, or if you prefer, you don't have to shoot in the eyes precisely, you can just spam rockets at his mouth. All you gotta do is just batter the shit out of his big ass gob, and eventually he'll back off for a third time and that'll end the fight. And that's all there is to it really. It's fairly simple. I mean, you just gotta remember that when you're shooting his eyes, you stand up and use the Vulcan. When his eye is popped, you start using the rockets on his mouth with the shields down, and then when he's fucked off and the drones and the polyps start jumping up, you hop out of the silverback and use either your Lancer or your Hammerburst, and that's all there is to it. Round's over.
Dropping tickers! What the hell's he thinking?